Sherman D. Manning coming to you live from Los Angeles, California, wherever you're listening. If you're listening in Atlanta, Georgia, if you're listening here in Los Angeles, if you're listening in Switzerland, wherever you are in the world. Hello, 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 hello. This is Sherman D. Manning, author of the brand new book, The Truth About O.J. Simpson, Race, Class, Money, and Justice. And this is Beat the Press. Beat the press. Beat the press. The rich get richer and the poor get prison. According to the laws of the United States of America, a man or a woman is deemed to be innocent till proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt to a moral certainty. That is theoretically what the law is. But in reality, what I've learned is that a man is innocent till proven indigent. A man is innocent till proven broke. Once you prove that you cannot afford the kind of legal team that O.J. Simpson had during his murder trial, my very good friend Bob Blazier, who was on that dream team, as well as Johnny Cochran, Carl Douglas, Lee Bailey, and others, Barry Scheck, Peter Neufeld, if you cannot afford that kind of dream team, then your trial and the justice system for you will become a nightmare. So the difference in the dream and the nightmare is money, period. Anybody that attempts to state it differently, they're lying to you. The American justice system is for sale to the highest bidder. Judges can be bought. Courts can be bought. Just like lawyers are paid, judges are paid. And it doesn't take a whole lot of mental genius to figure it out. How much money does a judge earn? Do you know that? The average Superior Court judge earns roughly $100,000 a year, which in some states is good money. In a state like California, it's really not that much money. A prison warden earns $130,000 per year, just to give you some perspective. And so, I am a judge. I'm a fairly honest guy, and I'm earning $100,000 per year. And this lawyer comes into my office, and I've known this lawyer for years. So I know that this lawyer is not a snitch, if we want to use that term, a colloquial idiom, if you will. I know this guy well, and we are friends, actually. And this attorney comes into my office and says to me, Judge Manning, I have, let's just say, $100,000 in cash in this briefcase. And on Monday, I'm bringing such and such a case before you. I'm asking you to find one technicality to dismiss the case or throw it out of court or exclude one key piece of evidence. And this 100 grand is for you, untraceable, to be contributed to any charity of your choosing. I'm going to leave the briefcase with you. You choose the charity. Think about that now. So someone is going to give you what it takes you 12 months to earn. Okay? That's 48 paychecks in basically 48 minutes for one ruling. How many people would consider that? Okay, all of us can say I'm a man of integrity. I would not. If I were a judge, there's no way. All you can say all of that, all you want to. But when you've got kids in college, bills that you're struggling to pay, wife needs this and kids need that, and now someone is offering to solve a bulk of your problems, basically with the stroke of a pen, or with the dropping of a briefcase, or in a real sense, with the dropping of a case. Lots and lots of people would consider that, most especially a judge who finds him or herself caught up in financial distress. My point is, bribes take place on a daily basis. Goldman Sachs recently just negotiated to settle a case brought against them by the United States federal government. Basically, they agreed to pay a fine of $5 billion with a B. So in essence, they stole $5 billion. And so for stealing $5 billion, they got a fine and a slap on the wrist. Nobody went to jail. No one received a criminal record. No one had to be fitted with a pair of handcuffs. Yet, on a daily basis, there are boys who are arrested, tried and convicted, locked up for stealing $500. And they get criminal records that will follow them for the rest of their life on the planet. And so I can steal $500 and get a 5-year jail sentence, but I can steal $5 billion and get a fine, no time. So what happened to if you do the crime, you pay the time, and all of that other good stuff that we like to say, especially those who are pro-criminal justice. You know, these parole officers and prison guards and all these folk who act like they have all the answers. You know, they'll give you these pat answers about you made a decision and you do this. I was talking with a guy yesterday who was telling me about a decision that I made as it relates to my conviction. I didn't even waste my time, ladies and gentlemen, to explain to him that I did not make a decision to commit a crime because it is a wrongful conviction. I committed no crime here. And I'll qualify that statement. I did commit a crime, picking up a hooker. And that cost me over a decade in prison because of a wrongful conviction that sprang out of that. You know, so, but this guy had all the answers. And it just fascinates me how you give little people a little power and they go crazy. And they want to be big, but little got them. And anytime you meet a man who wants to be big, but little got him, you better be careful, because little will drive a man wanting to be big crazy. And so this particular guy that I was talking to has a little bit of power, and he wants to be big, but little has gotten a hold of him. And so my point, I digress, is that all of these people who run around, these foot soldiers in the criminal justice and even the social justice movement, running around doing the grunt work, thinking that they have all the answers. They can kiss the crack of my posterior anatomy, miss me with all of that bogus bull crap. You made a decision. You do the crime. You do the crime doesn't pay and all that other great stuff. Crime pays if you're big enough to play. Ask Goldman Sachs. Ask Jamie Dimon, the head of Goldman Sachs. Ask the guy, his name escapes my memory at the moment, who bought the, I think it was an HIV medication that was selling for $13 a pill. And he bought the company and immediately jacked the price up from $13 a pill to $750 a pill. He has since been arrested, bailed out. I think it was a $5 million bail. How did he make that bail? Because he has money. And chances are he may or may not ever see the inside of a jail cell. Now, the federal government is angry with him, so he could potentially go to prison. Because another thing I found out about this criminal justice system is that not only is it criminal, and not only is the deck stacked against the poor, but it is also extremely vindictive. So if the feds get upset with someone, one man could owe them $50,000 in taxes and go to prison. And another guy might owe them $2 million and never see prison. But the guy who owes 50 grand has done something to piss off the federal government. When they come at you, they come at you. And so there's nothing balanced. There's nothing fair. There's nothing systematic about the criminal justice system. The only thing systematic about it is that the racism and the classism and the bigotry is systemic. It's systemic. And to be quite frank with you, and normally I don't fashion myself to be a prophet of doom, But to be quite frank with you, I don't think this criminal justice system will make any major changes in the very near future. But my job, my duty, my responsibility is to shine a light on the system and at least create some awareness about what is going on, so that perhaps family members, those who have been wrongly convicted, as well as those who have been rightly convicted, can have the penological system elucidated in some sense and know that the system is a corrupted system, and it will give them a better paradigm from which to view their loved ones who may or may not have had intimate experiences with the criminal justice system. It's criminal, but there's not much justice. It's criminal, but there is not much justice. What gets me upset also is the fact that we have all of these preachers on every street corner. I mean, from Baptist to Church of God in Christ to Presbyterian and charismatic churches, interdenominational, etc. And very few of them are lifting a finger to help those who are in need. The rich get richer, the poor get prison, and they tend not to do anything to help the folk that Christ talked about in St. Matthew chapter 25 when he said, clearly, I was hungry and you fed me not. I was in prison and you visited me not. And you'll recall what the disciples said, Master, when did we see you hungry? And when did we see you in prison? And the master replied that inasmuch as you have done it unto the least of these my brethren, you, my friend, have done it also unto me. And so a part of my ministry, a part of what I do as this so-called expert on criminal justice, as this so-called book guru, a part of my duty will be to help the least of these, our brethren. And one of the ways that I think, oh, I need you, sir, man on the street interview, couldn't catch him. One of the things that I want to do is to shine a light on the system, knowing that just the light itself helps the system. Where there's light, there's healing. Where there's darkness, there's corruption. Worms come and we don't even know they exist. You ever gone into a room and cut the lights on and see roaches and ants and rats scattering all over the place? Light is a healing agent. And so I want to spread some light and shed some light as much as I possibly can. Listen, in case you forgot it or didn't know it, maybe I didn't show it, I am Sherman D. Manning. I have authored a new book that you need to take a look at. You need to read it. It is a book that came from a lot of research, a lot of trial and error. The book is titled The Truth About O.J. Simpson, Race, Class, Money, and Justice. This is a walking podcast, my friends. I'm walking at a rapid pace because, back to the criminal justice system, if you want me to go personal for a moment, I'm in Los Angeles, California, and I have no family here, no friends here, and have been wrongly convicted in this state. And rather than sending me home, sent me here to Los Angeles. And this is the way they do their system. And it is a system that is corrupt. It is a system that is wicked. It is a system that needs to be changed. Why would you force a man to live in a city that's not his? Stay in a state where he has no family, no friends, no loved ones, when he could go home. And thank you, Jesus. I'm going to share this, and I didn't want to share it, but I'm going to share it anyway. I worked all of those years to get out of prison, and I lost my darling mother, Dolly Mae Manning, almost 2 years ago. It was the most trying, the most troubling time of my life. I thought I wasn't going to make it, quite frankly. And here I am. And so my father, James Scott Manning, I just worked and prayed and asked God to let me make it home before he goes. He's sick. He's sick. And as I speak to you, is in the hospital in intensive care in Atlanta, Georgia. And I went to